How can you master this moment and bend time? Don't listen to this episode unless you're already really successful, because that means you'll be able to easily and effortlessly understand this. And I'm sure if you aren't successful and you continue to listen, you will still be able to understand this. So what we're going to consider as we listen to this is how can we bend time to achieve things right now, because your unconscious mind already knows how. So let's look at how we can bend time and master the present moment. My name's Alex Morgan, and welcome to the Hypergrowth Zone podcast. I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP, and let's explore the powerful intersection of your mind, energy, time, the present moment, so you can create the reality that you want. And that's why today I want to talk to you about something that might sound impossible at first: bending time. Yeah, you heard me right, bending time. Now, before you roll your eyes or think this is some kind of fictional story, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where something you thought would take years to accomplish, maybe a career change, landing a client, starting a project, suddenly just happened? It felt like everything lined up in the blink of an eye? That, my friend, is bending time. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how you can do it consciously, deliberately, and in a way that helps you get what you want and allows you to get people around you what they want too. And this is much faster than you thought possible. So, before we dive in, let me just say this. If you're listening right now, you're already ready for this message. Some people think they need to be successful enough or spiritually advanced enough before they can really grasp this concept. The truth is, if you're here hearing the sound of my voice, then you can understand this and you will apply this and you can bend time. So let's think about a simple diagram in your imagination. You can picture two different worlds in your imagination, can't you? On one side, we have the material world. That's the world where you work hard, chase after wealth, pursue goals, and you deal with tangible physical reality. Money, houses, things, jobs, deadlines, goals, all of it, people. On the other side, we have the spiritual world. That's where we experience love, peace, creativity, intuition, possibility, everything that exists beyond what we can touch and measure. And in the middle, weaving the two together, there's time. Time is right there in the middle. So imagine that in your mind, that diagram. Material world on one side, spiritual world on the other side, and time, and we're going to get ready to bend that. So here's the secret. If you spend too much energy in just one world, either stuck in material grind mode or floating endlessly in spiritual possibility, you actually lose your ability to bend time. So true time bending happens when you integrate both. Now, there's some people that can probably spend a lot of time in one or the other, and they can bend time. However, when you're able to integrate both, because think about it, it's like integrating types of physics as well. When you integrate both of those, there you have it. Something just happens for you. So let's look at force and the mind. So let's break this down. So in the material world, success often looks like force. You push hard. You push harder. You work long. You work longer. You out-hustle that competition. It's like two opposing forces colliding into one another. And finally, one lets the other one have it. That's Newtonian physics. That's that reality. And yes, sometimes hard work, hustle, grind is the winner. But is that really the only way? Not at all. Not at all. So what if I told you that you didn't have to grind yourself into the ground to have as much success that you want? What if you could design it in your mind and have it happen much quicker without putting in all that physical effort? I was just working with a client yesterday, and they told me the more I design things in my mind, when I go to do them in my physical reality in the material world, it seems so easy. And I was like, yes, you get it. That's how it happens. So instead, you can shift where you put the effort. You put that effort into your mind, into clear designing, having intentions, using your imagination, while at the same time taking aligned action in the physical world. So this is the sweet spot where time starts to bend. Physical action meets the effort that you put into your mind. And most of the effort you put into your mind is designing. So let me share a story. So I was speaking with someone who had this massive, inspiring goal. Their words were insane. It was electric. I thought, wow, this dream is so big. It's so ambitious. It's beautiful just to hear people talking like this, is what I thought, even though I haven't even achieved close to what this person was talking about. And then I asked them one simple question. I said, when do you want to achieve this by? And they froze. And I could see the look on their face. It totally changed. They were like, what? What did you ask me? I said, when do you want to achieve this by? So it's like they never thought about putting a deadline on it. It's like they were holding their dream in the spiritual realm. It was a possibility. It was an idea. But they hadn't actually put any of it into the material world. They hadn't considered doing that. They hadn't even considered this big, ambitious, huge goal, making it a true reality. So guess what? The moment they gave this huge goal, and I'm talking massive, a timeline, everything shifted. Once they started to think about it in the material world, suddenly their mind started asking, what can I do right now to make this happen? So it's real. So it's not just imagined. The wonderful thing about the imagination either way is if you're thinking about your goal in your imagination, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined, so it thinks it's really happening. So this is also one of the keys to bending time. So we need to push the timeline up too. Because anytime I'm working with a client and I say, hey, when do you want to achieve this by? If they tell me a year, I say, well, you need to do it in 3 months. If they say I need to do this in 10 years, you can do it in 5. And most of the time that 5 years turns into 1 year, 2 years, 6 months. Who knows? Maybe they just meet that one person and it totally bends time. So how do you bend time? You push your timeline closer. Now, there's a couple reasons why you want to do that. First, if you push your timeline closer, you're going to take more inspired action. Inspired action. That means that it's really going to matter to you. And this is going to have you come up against your limitations. So if you wait a whole 2 years to have a goal, how much time are you going to waste? How many days are you going to waste where you say, I can just do that tomorrow. My goal isn't for another 2 years. If you have a goal in a month, you got to start right now. Right this second, you're going to start implementing ideas. So let me give you another example. A client, let's say I have a client and they want to start a new business. And they say, in order to start this business, I have to make this amount of money in my job and all this. So they give themselves a year. It's reasonable, right? It sounds safe, doesn't it? And then he talked to a colleague of mine, and the colleague was like, you need to do this in 2 months. The person was like, what? 2 months felt scary. At the same time, felt exciting. So then when I started working with this person, I was like, what if we could do it even sooner? We shrunk the timeline even more. And this forced that person's mind to expand. And instead of asking, how do I do this in a year? It's like, what can I do right now in 30 days? So what can I do right now so I know I can achieve this in 30 days? And suddenly, possibilities, new choices, opportunities started to open up. And also, when they move the timeline up, this brings up different negative emotions that we get to resolve. So when you resolve those negative emotions, that's when time bends. That is bending time. So that's another example, and it's really helpful. So let's get a bit more practical here. We have action, we have design. Now, I mentioned these a little bit earlier, but I didn't actually tell you exactly how to do something. So in the spiritual world, all possible things, all possibilities, billion different possibilities, they can all exist right now. So any outcome that you can imagine is already here. Maybe it's just in a parallel dimension, you're doing something else. However, we decided for whatever reason, you decided to turn on this podcast today and listen to me of all the choices you had in all these dimensions. So in order to experience something in the material world, you need to take aligned action. So here's the simple formula, if you want to think about it. You design something in your mind. Be really specific. Picture the environment, the people, the resources, the emotions. The clearer you design it, the easier it becomes for your unconscious mind to start moving toward it. We want to be moving toward goals, toward pleasure. We don't need pain to crop up for us to achieve goals. So how do you create pleasure as well? You give yourself a reward. So if you get this huge, ambitious, big goal that you're going to do in a week, have a reward. I was working with a client the other day, and they wanted to start a new routine. I said, in order to do that routine and start it and get going right away, reward yourself after the first day. Reward yourself after the first week. Reward yourself after the second week. Reward yourself the first month. Have all these rewards so your mind thinks, wow, you're doing a great job. You're doing this routine, and you deserve it. So you're going to design everything in your mind. If you think your goal needs a certain client, design that client. You think that goal needs certain people to help you achieve it, design those people. This will help you meet these people, bring these people into your reality. And when you're that specific, you can even tell people around you, hey, this is the type of person I'm looking for. And they'll go, you know what? I know the perfect person that can help you get this. And that's how you bend time as well. So you design. The second thing is you push the deadline forward. There's no need to wait years for something you can do, not even in a month, in a week, in 2 weeks, maybe in 2 days, 3 days, maybe today. So if you wait months for something you could do in a week, think about it. What if you could do this in 3 days? What if you could do it in 2 days? What if you could do it and have it right now? What is that going to do? That leads to number 3. That's going to show you need to take immediate action right now. Inspired action right now, today, this moment, this present moment, something that pulls you to the goal, something in the physical world. Do something right now. Make that call. Take that action. Go run outside. Whatever it is, do something. So someone I worked with, they wanted to buy something that they thought was out of reach. Their plan was to wait months, maybe even years. So I asked, well, how can you buy it in 3 days? And they laughed. They were like, 3 days? That's impossible. Then they started to think differently. They realized that if they were to truly do something in 3 days, that they would need to automate some other parts of their business, delegate tasks, and this would free themselves to focus on higher value products, work, services. So they also, within that, thought of a few different people that they could network with who could immediately help. And guess what? Within days, they had the money and they had the opportunity. That is bending time. So a lot of people, oh, that's so lucky. You got so lucky that happened so fast. No, this is a combination of design. So design it in your mind. Put effort in your mind. Pushing the deadline up, having intention, and taking action. The final thing that you want to do, if you want to have true mastery in your reality, what's the one thing that you can master? I'm curious. What would you say? A lot of people are going to come up with a lot of different answers. The one thing that you can master, though, is the moment. Master this moment. So in order to bend time, you are going to master the moment because you can, because you deserve to, because you want to, and you can create that over and over again. So you keep mastering each moment. Think about it. You have right now. A lot of people think time is linear. We can bend that line. Time is not linear. You have right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. So think about it. Consider these things. What's the one thing you've been putting off, believing it would take years? What's the one step you can take today in this moment to bring it closer, to make it a reality? Remember, take it out of your mind and into the physical, into reality. And what deadline can you push up to make it real now? Guess what? Your unconscious mind, like I said, it already knows how. Start. Spend time. Start. Design something in your mind. Take action. Because your big goal it deserves you to achieve it, and reward yourself along the way. So think about this. You can bend time. You don't have to wait for anything anymore ever again. Design it now, push the deadline forward, and take inspired action in this moment. Master the moment. Keep doing that over and over. Every day, design something new. Push the deadline forward even more. Take aligned action. Take inspired action, because time is flexible. It's flexible. You can bend it because it's not linear. You can have it right now. There's possibilities out there that say you can have it right now. And when you align the material world with the spiritual, and when you put that force into your mind and you follow through in your actions with purpose and love and peace, fast. Things happen fast. Everything goes fast. So if today's episode inspired you, then I'd love to hear what goal you're ready to bend time around. Go ahead and share it with me. All my information will be in the description of the episode. And definitely, if you were inspired by this, share it with someone who wants to hear this, because you do deserve to have it all right now. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.